GM, everyone. My name is Matthew, and I'm a contributor at Juicebox DAO. Welcome to the third video in this series of Juicebox use cases. So today we're going to focus on how you can use Juicebox to fund your open source software project. Juicebox is an open source protocol that is permissionless, community-owned, and built on the Ethereum blockchain. So Juicebox is built by hackers for hackers, making it a great launchpad for developers to take their projects to the next level. So let's dive into some examples of projects using Juicebox to fund open source software. Planet is an open source tool built by Shin, also known as Livid, who previously built v2ex.com, which is a popular community for developers in China. Planet lets you build decentralized websites using IPFS and ENS. So instead of hosting your website on a centralized server, Planet uses IPFS for peer-to-peer content distribution and lets you use an ENS address that you own or control as the URL. Planet has raised nearly 7 ETH on Juicebox so far, which is worth over $12,500 at the time of recording. Etherfunk is a tool that lets you interact with any contract on the Ethereum blockchain. Simply enter a contract address, and Etherfunk makes it easy to interact with both its read and write functions. You can also generate links with pre-filled values to easily share contract interactions in a predefined way. Etherfunk was developed by Aeolian, one of the front-end devs at PeelDAO, which manages the Juicebox.money front-end. In order to make Etherfunk sustainable, he launched a project on Juicebox, stated upfront how much it costs each month to keep running, and managed to secure funding for an entire year in less than 1 month. So, how does Juicebox work for open source software? Launching a project on Juicebox lets you build a treasury out in the open, raise funds from your community or via grants, and issue ERC20 tokens or NFTs as benefits to supporters. In addition to introducing your project and the story behind what you're building, consider stating your fundraising goal and costs upfront in your project description. You can also use Juicebox's Onchain rules to set limits for how much can be withdrawn from the project so that supporters feel safer knowing that you can't rug and take all of the ETH. So first, you decide on cycles, which can be 3 days, 2 weeks, a month, anything you like, and all of your project settings will be locked for that period of time. You can always change your project settings, but these changes will only take effect in the next upcoming cycle, and supporters will be able to see this upcoming change on your project's activity feed. Second, you can set up payouts, which set on-chain rules for where funds will go and how much can be withdrawn. So for example, let's say your goal is to raise $1,000 per month to maintain your project. You could set up a limited payout of $1,000 to your personal address, and anything raised above that limit will roll into the next cycle. Supporters can rest easy knowing that you can't suddenly take all of the money from the project and disappear. So just to summarize, cycles lock in your project settings for a set amount of time, and payouts let you set on-chain rules for where funds will go. In addition to cycles and payouts, Juicebox also offers advanced tokenomics features that allow you to issue tokens and NFTs, offer refunds, and more. So when supporters pay your project, they receive tokens. Depending on whether you deploy an ERC20 token or not, these will either be in their wallet or internally accounted for by the Juicebox contracts, which is the default to save on gas fees. ERC20 tokens are often used for governance, so this could be something simple like letting token holders vote on upcoming features, or maybe you want your project to be community-owned and governed as a DAO, with token holders voting on how to use treasury funds. Project tokens can also be used to offer refunds, so for example, let's say you raise 2 ETH to start developing a new idea, but for some unforeseen reason, you can no longer commit to the project. You can edit your upcoming cycle to set payouts to none, and this will let token holders redeem their tokens for the ETH that they contributed. In addition to ERC20 tokens, you can also issue NFTs for payments made to your project with different tiers so that contributors can support you at different price points. For example, you could offer a $5 Buy Me a Coffee tier with cute artwork or your project's logo, as well as higher priced tiers that unlock premium features or access to a token-gated Discord server, for example. NFT rewards can be anything from cool artwork as a thank you to membership or other perks. It's totally up to you. Launching your open source software project on Juicebox lets you raise funds permissionlessly from around the world and build a community around what you're building. And even if your product isn't related to crypto, you can always start a Juicebox project alongside another platform like Buy Me a Coffee and help spread the word to members of the Ethereum community. Okay, that's it for our use case on Juicebox for open source software. If you have any questions about using Juicebox, come join the Discord at discord.gg/Juicebox or book an onboarding session at juicebox.money/contact.